Welcome to the Fierce Goddess Collective. It is our pleasure to bring this podcast to you. We're about the divine feminine in sacred leadership and the women that are bringing their magic and services to the world. It is our pleasure and it is our love and our magic. From Tosca and Amanda. Enjoy.
Welcome, beautiful people, to the Fierce Goddess Collective. And I am Tosca D.
And I'm Amanda Curry.
Woo! And we are here to share our little journey about why we're starting the Fierce Goddess Collective podcast. So we're very excited to bring this into creation and to service and hear about women's stories and journeys about bringing their divine feminine power into sacred leadership, empowering women in bringing their service, their beautiful service and magic to the world.
Wow. Yeah.
So, beautiful Amanda, let's hear from you.
Okay.
Your beautiful service and magic into the world.
Oh, my journey thus far. Well, where do I start? Okay, so let's start way back. So I always felt that there was something different in the world when I was a child, I suppose. But as a lot of us have done, when we go to school and go to high school, we tend to conform to fit in. And I did that extremely well. A few people thought I was a bit weird, but I very much so conformed to what was happening around me and, you know, the trends and all that sort of stuff. So I could sort of fit in. And then I continued that after school, continued to change myself and conform in relationships, and it's quite clear that that doesn't work for you, because I always ended up in one relationship after another, because they never ever worked, because I wasn't being true to myself. So I eventually got married, and funny enough, that didn't work out. So once that didn't work out, I thought to myself, no, I cannot do this anymore, and I really need to figure out what the problem was. Because I think when you get to the age that I think I was in my early 40s when that happened, you've lost sight of who you are by that stage. Well, I had, because I conformed so much that I forgot who I was. There were little glimpses of it, you know, and I mean, I love living in Melbourne where it all went down, because black was my favourite colour. And we all know that black is like a uniform in Melbourne. So I fitted in really well there. You know, I could kind of hide my gothic-y sort of side with all the black clothing and stuff. And I loved that. I absolutely loved it. So once my marriage broke up, I found my way to this woman who does this amazing seminar in Melbourne called Born to Be Free. And her name's Tamara Antonio Wright. And it changed my world, because she not only does meditation with clearing your subconscious, but she teaches you about personalities and generational hand-downs of how you carry yourself and what you think's expected of you. And it just broke all those molds for me. And I was just like, holy moly, this is why I've been the way that I have for so long. So I went on to do that, and I worked for her for a while, and it just opened my world and just changed my life. And then I came back to Cairns, and I sort of just settled into living and, you know, found my soulmate, and after 7 years, I got married to him. And then I started the journey of the spiritual journey. And of course, that's when Tosca came back into my life. We known each other from school, and I hadn't seen you for so long, since high school, and our paths crossed again. And that's where I started my journey with Tosca, with her course, doing the path of the joyful goddess and the path of the intuitive goddess. And that's where I finally realized, even more so after the other journey, that I really needed meditation, spiritual, you know, guidance and leadership and all that sort of thing that sort of has led me to where I am today. And my life's changed completely again, because while I was doing the path of the joyful goddess, I left my job. That was it, because I just knew that I couldn't do it anymore. And it was creating that negative energy, feeling panicky all the time, and it just was not healthy. And I haven't been back to work for anybody ever since. And I've just been doing my own thing, and it's just been wonderful. And we've been doing our thing together. So yeah, that's where I am at, and that's why I wanted to do this, because it's just been amazing.
Yeah, and what a journey. What a journey. I hear your story and it just makes me think of reclaiming your divine feminine power for yourself and your leading, and
it gives me a real buzz to see other women come into their own, and really be confident in themselves to the point where they can support other women, because we lose that. You see so many women that have issues with other women because they're seeing a discrepancy in themselves, in that other woman. And I really want women to not do that. I want them to all support each other and feel loved and respected. And important.
I hear you, sister. I totally hear you. And I agree. I think that's why we're both passionate about this podcast and what we're doing together, to really give that voice of women coming forth in their leadership for themselves, for their family, for whatever they're leading, to actually give themselves. Because I, like you, as we went to the same school, was, and I'm going to say afflicted with the people pleaser.
Yeah.
Pleasing people, trying to fit in, trying to be liked, trying to meet approval, trying, would I say that? God, second guessing myself, that sense of not really stepping into your own power. And that was with me, a legacy that has been with me for a long time. And like you, my own spiritual journey and evolution, I've gone, no, that's not fitting anymore. I've got to let that belief, that dominant fear of people pleasing, because that's sacrificing my own joy, let that one go, and let what other people's opinions of me go, acknowledge my courage to step forward, So totally in that honoring of coming forth in courage and in vulnerability, but in that divine feminine power aspect.
Absolutely. So we want to hear where Tosca's journey came from.
Yeah.
Your turn, my love.
My journey. Yeah. I have always had that spiritual, from a very young age, that spiritual feeling. So that definitely has been part of my being, and seeing things and feeling energies and all of that. And like you, got into school, realized that's not what you talk about, and denied it, shut it down. It wasn't until I came out of school and really started my meditation journey. And I have distinct memories of my meditation journey starting when I was 18. So meditating, seeing, feeling, sensing things, and coming into that space and just go, what else is there? There's more to life than just what I'm doing. And that whole journey led me on a whole different pathway. Like you, met a man, fell in love with this beautiful man, and then walked through that journey, and it didn't work out. I sacrificed my own power. I sacrificed my own belief. Yeah. So that in itself was part of my spiritual evolution. It's all serving for us to awaken. So
that's right.
Yeah. And then you and I and a beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend called Beck, we had a gorgeous dinner one night many, many moons ago. And I said to these lovely ladies, I said, I want to make a set of cards. I want to do this. And you two said, if you do that, let us know. We want to be part of it. And it birthed the seed. Seed. And I then did more training with the beautiful Dr. Ricky Jane Adams, about intuition and dominant negative fear belief, releasing all of that. So, yeah, and it's still got to go on.
Yeah, we never come to the end, do we?
No.
We've got to keep learning and evolving.
That's right. And, honoring beautiful women, honoring their gorgeous journeys, so that we can bring all of our magic to the world. And there is enough magic to share. There are enough resources for everybody. So
Yeah.
why not celebrate? Why not celebrate people's magic?
Absolutely. You know, I did want to ask you one question, because you and I obviously finished school the same time. Clearly, you're a bit more grounded than I was.
I don't know about that.
What triggered in you to start that meditation when you were 18, when we'd finished high school?
Yeah, I know. I know what it was, because I've been a journaler. I've been a big, long journaler since year 4. Like I journal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had a lot of years of journaling, and through the journaling and putting down all my sadness and emotions, as a teenager and all of that, and then also through my relationships, it came to a point of being still, and being still in the meditation, and being still to reflect, and being just holding myself with love and feeling connected also not only to my being but other beautiful light beings, and whatever you want to call them, angels or Jesus, whoever. And then that started that journey. Yeah.
See, it's amazing, because it shows that you were really on that path, and because it just seemed to have come to you from all the journaling, and then you just sort of grew into it, whereas, gosh, I look back at what I was like at that age, and oh my Lord, it was all drama and romances and too much partying and, oh, crikeys. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how people get to where they start the journey, like I obviously had to go through all those stages of getting it so wrong to bring me to that point where life just went, that's it. You're going to have to do something, because it's obvious that you're not doing things right,
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas yours seems to be a beautiful journey. But it seems to be like you just, at that tender age of 18, when most of us were still kind of finding what the heck are we supposed to do with our lives. Yeah, just for someone like me who took a little longer to actually wake up to it, to look back and see that you were already doing that sort of thing back then was amazing.
Yeah, I was doing it, but it doesn't mean I wasn't partying.
I know.
All the other stuff that goes with a young being, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So
I don't by any means say that you're a, angelic little bugger, but it was already in your world. Let's put it that way. It was already a part of your world.
Definitely it was a part of my world, and and it's just growing, just growing. And I realized, when I've really been in those pits of despair, the very thing I give up is my meditation and all my practices. So now, with a little bit of, hopefully, wisdom, don't give up your practices. Don't give up your devotions. Like, they're the very things that keep you grounded and anchored into your own light.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Because, as you know, I mean, I sought guidance from you not too long ago, because I've come into a new way of thinking and living, and doing a lot of research and growing in different areas. And that journaling and doing the meditation practice every morning before everybody gets up, which I know a lot of people can't do because they've got families and stuff, but to find it somewhere in your day. And I bought these beautiful fairy cards, because I'm just so into fairies now. And people are like, oh my God, and it's like, no. It's the fae, mate. It's where it's at, because these cards are so intuitive. I just do the meditation. I do your insight timer meditation, and then I do my soul meditation, where I just sit there with some music on and just, ground connect, all that sort of stuff. And then I draw a card, and it will be exactly what I'm looking for or what I'm struggling with. It's just amazing that if you give yourself that chance, the direction is there, and if you believe and you understand that you aren't alone, because that was one of my things. I always forget I'm not alone. I'm in this life for myself, but I'm not alone. So, yeah, it makes such a difference. It really does.
Yeah, it does make a huge difference. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Really. Beautiful. So we want to bring all of this magic and other people's magic onto our
Yes.
glorious podcast.
With a lot of women from a lot of different walks of life, not just in the spiritual meditation world, but academics, teachings. Oh, so many different women. We've got a list a mile long that we would love to talk to, don't we?
We do, and finance. So it's not just in that spiritual world, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
To hear people's beautiful journeys.
Yeah, it's just inspiring.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So we're excited. Yes. Jinx.
That's it. So I just want to acknowledge everybody who's listening to this and welcoming them on our journey of this glorious podcast, and to also invite them too. If they want to be part of this beginning of the beginning with us, by all means, connect with us. Let us know what you'd like to share, and we would love to have you on the show. Like, we are really wanting to celebrate beautiful women.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, you don't have to be a CEO of a company to have something to say, because everybody in their own way contributes to the world. So, you know, don't ever think that we're not interested because we want to talk to everybody. We're not short of a word or two. Well, I'm not. So we'd love it. We
would love it. We would love it. Absolutely. Yes. So
totally.
So from our hearts to their hearts, we are excited to begin this journey, and in deep gratitude, we can't wait to bring the next glorious guest on with us next time.
Yep.
So yes, may you be well, and may you be happy, and may you always be in peace.
Yes. Ditto. Until next time.
Until next time. Bye.